Hello! Flyway is a middle-end Extreme Demon Mega Collab created by PlayerHungry and many more. This level is relatively unknown in the GD community, as levels in its difficulty range tend to be very unknown, despite being very good. This level is very fast-paced and very learny, but in a really good way, much like Wasseretta by Krazen. Anyways, sit back, relax, release a buff date to your already impossible memory demon, because we're gonna play Flyway. Alright, hello everyone. First of all, excuse me for how I may sound throughout the video. I'm both tired and sick right now, so I'm really going through a very tremendous time. Anyways, welcome back to the Extreme Demon Alphabet. This is kind of a series that many people don't know exists on my channel, because I don't really advertise it that much. But yeah, I am doing an Extreme Demon Alphabet, and I'm on letter F right now. The last time we had Electric Forest, so you know, this is really going swimmingly so far. Anyways, I decided to make a couple changes to my Extreme Demon Alphabet. Namely, I'm not gonna let fate decide my levels anymore. I'm actually just gonna choose which levels I do for the alphabet. So yeah, this is gonna be the first one that I actually chose, and it's Flyway. So this level was actually given to me because I lost a bet by my friend Water. I'm pretty sure the bet was something around if I died at the ending of Blade of Justice when I beat it, I would have to beat this. And I did end up dying to the end of Blade of Justice. You know, I suck at the game. Anyways, yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm gonna go into the level and give you guys some tips and tricks on how to beat it. Alright, so the beginning of Flyway is one of the harder parts in the level, at least in my opinion. It does get very consistent, but it's kind of awkward, if I'm gonna be honest. Some of the timings in this part are really weird. Like I said, they do get consistent, it's just a matter of getting used to them, which is the hardest part in the level in my opinion. But most of this part is straightforward. There's not many fake orbs besides the first few clicks, so once you know what you're doing, you can get past this part pretty consistently. This robot part is the hardest part of the pre-drop, I'd like to say. Even though there's not really a dedicated drop in this level, there is a part where the song picks up, which I consider to be the drop. This part actually introduces a lot of fake orbs, and this first robot timing is actually pretty tough. You have to skip 2 things and actually land on this platform, so it's actually pretty difficult to get that. It's just memorizing when and which orbs to press, so this beginning part's just up to your muscle memory and just memory in general. This part is actually really hard, but something really cool I found is that if you hit the black orb super late, you can actually just skip a click and just do that. This timing is very hard to pull off, but if it gets consistent, you never have to worry about dying here. I'm in quarter speed right now, so you can't really tell how truly hard this ship is, but it's a very bad choke point. But if you don't want to do that hard timing to skip that, you can just let go as soon as you're aligned with this spike up here on the top. And then once you're aligned with that, you can let go, and then you can just click again on the blue portal. And then you can just, you know, do the normal route. That ship part is very difficult though, so I do recommend getting used to that because it will kill you a lot. Now, this UFO part is only really confusing because of decoration and visual indicators, but it's not that bad. I would recommend practicing it a lot still, just so it doesn't get annoying from zero, but once you practice it enough, you'll never die here. Also, right here, you want to hit the first pink orb, the second pink orb, and then the blue orb, and then you butt your head on this block right here, and then you can just hit every orb from here on out. Every dash orb that's like this in like a transition, you can buffer, so keep that in mind. I highly recommend playing this level in layout mode when you learn it, by the way. There's a lot of things like right here. You can see that block right here like fading in or out. It's just visual indicators, and it'll help you learn those visual indicators. Also, I recommend buffering a lot of the inputs in this part. Like right here, you want to buffer almost all of these. Sometimes though, you'll get something like this where you land on the saw blade, so you might want to just time one of your first clicks before buffering every click, but you can get away with buffering every click here. And depending on how early you buffer this dash orb right here, you can actually just skip the second dash orb, which is something I recently learned. This part right here is very annoying. One thing I will say is that whenever you think you're super high, like on the top section of spikes, you're actually pretty low. Treat it as if you're skidding along the bottom spikes instead of the top spikes. That's what I did as like a visual indicator, especially since your ship is hidden. And that helped me with this part quite a lot. I don't know how else to do this part though, because it's invisible, but you can get away with doing the whole straight fly in just one click if you want. So yeah, you just hold after this yellow and then just do another click. Right here, it expects you to do like a big swoop like this where you just click once. What I found to be more consistent is I just positioned myself with a straight fly like this and then did the swoop. I found it way more easier to just actually click more to position myself, and that helped me with this part a lot. I barely died to this swoop. And then after this red orb, you can just click once to the green orb, and then you can just follow the orbs, and then click on this portal. And then you can just click once here. I didn't think you could, but you could just click once right here, and then you'll be fine to just hit the next pink or red orb. And then right here, you can just hold this black orb, and then just do an extra click, and then just hold again. All right, right here at this ship part, what I found to be consistent is I would let myself fall a little bit, and then I'd start straight flying like this. Obviously not that straight of a straight fly. It really helped me align myself, because this part can be pretty annoying if you just try to swoop up like this, and then try to swoop down. And then right here, I would click the green orb, click the other green orb, fall down a bit, click once, and then go up like this. This ship part is actually very, very hard, so make sure to just know what you're doing, basically. Top 10 tutorial advices ever. You can click to the hi-hats of the song and go like bum, 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 bum. Just make sure that when you do this part, your last wave click is really good on the blue orb. That's the biggest issue that people might have when they play this level. And you want to click this black orb as early as possible, or else the alignment gets messed up. All right, this wave is very difficult. It requires a lot of control, and the only thing I will say is practice this wave a lot, or else you will struggle to pass it at all from zero, and it might even be impossible if you don't practice it well. Anyways, right here, when you get to this mini wave, you can actually slide along the blocks right here, and you don't really have to worry about focusing on going between the spikes. If you want to just focus on going between the blocks like this, you can, but you can also just do this if you want. It's just whatever's better of a visual indicator for you. For me, I found it to be a better visual indicator just to align myself with the spikes instead of the block. One thing I'll say about dash orbs and mini waves is that whenever you release, just release later than you think you should, because the mini wave basically goes straight down when you release after a dash orb, so keep that in mind. But yeah, you should definitely practice this wave a lot because it's very, very hard. All right, and then here's the final spider part. And if you want to, actually, a skip I found is that if you double click this black orb, you can actually skip the timing right after it, which is very difficult in my opinion because it's out of a transition. So if you wanted to do that, you can, and you can just continue along with the spider. But yeah, like I said, you can buffer a lot of the ground inputs in this part. You just can't buffer any of the orb inputs, really. But like this green orb you can buffer, but I think that's pretty much it. But most of the ground inputs you can buffer, not this one. Right here, for this swoop, I recommend just clicking right after you do a spider click, just so you can actually get the swoop correctly. And then after this blue portal, just click once, and then once you reach this pink size portal, this part's really tricky because you can't see your ship, and it's a very difficult straight fly. But what you could do is just click twice, like 1, 2, like that. You want to make sure you're high in those spikes because of how the straight fly is, but that straight fly is very difficult. Anyways, yeah, that was Flyway. I'm going to save my opinions on the level for after the video, but I'm going to tell you right now if I recommend the level. And I only recommend the level to high-end players, first of all. I only recommend this level if you're going for it as like a 5th or earlier hardest. Not to say you can't go for it as a hardest, but if you're ever going to go for this as a hardest, I feel like the experience would be very unenjoyable because you die far a lot. But if you're fine with that, then it's whatever. It's up to you. I pretty much only recommend this level if you're into fast-paced levels, choke point levels, and dying far a lot. If you're not, this level definitely won't be for you. But if you actually don't mind that, this level's a good experience. I don't mind choke points, and I don't mind dying far in levels, so this level was pretty easy for me to pick up and play. Anyways, yeah, that's all I have to say for now.
This is like
Oh, I fluked the ship! I fluked the ship! Oh my god! Holy
Oh, did
fuck!
you beat the level?
Yeah. Oh. Oh. Let's go. Oh my god. I flipped the ship. Let's go.
Alright, that was Flyway. Overall, Flyway was an alright experience. There were a lot of issues I had with the gameplay, specifically when it came to difficulty spikes and choke points. There were a lot of those in this level, and they ended up ruining the experience quite a bit. Overall, though, this level does have a really cool vibe to it. It does feel like you're speeding through a level, which is really cool. Most fast levels don't really feel like that. This level specifically just felt like you were actually like in the sky, which sounds weird, but it's just kind of true. I also kind of liked how the level felt like you were going higher and higher into the sky throughout the level. Like at the beginning, it felt like you were more ground level when it came to the decoration. And then later on with the white part, it felt like you were in clouds. And then you finally reached the space parts at the end, which made it feel like you were in space. I don't know if that was intended, but it just felt like you were progressively going up into the atmosphere as you were playing this level, which is cool. Anyways, in terms of gameplay enjoyment, I gave Flyway a 6.5 out of 10. Like I said, the gameplay was pretty fun. It was just really annoying because of all the choke points and difficulty spikes. But I will say, playing this level in runs, it was really fun, but playing it from zero was just totally different. It wasn't as fun from zero. When you were consistent, though, it does feel really nice to play. It's just that there were too many difficulty spikes and way too many choke points for me to fully enjoy the level to its max potential, but it was still fine nonetheless. Anyways, the hardest part of Flyway is definitely the pre-drop, which is everything before the white ship part. That is the hardest part of the level for me. And the coolest part of the level for me is everything from 70 to 100. That part is just really cool. Anyways, in terms of decoration, I gave Flyway a 7 out of 10. The decoration in Flyway is pretty empty, but it has a lot of atmosphere going on for it, which is pretty good if you're going to give a level empty decoration. Like I said a bit earlier, the level does feel like you're progressing through the atmosphere of like Earth or something, so it's just a really cool decoration progression. I like how the level doesn't feel the same at all throughout the entire level, if I'm going to be honest. The decoration changes several times through the short amount of time that this level lasts, so that's pretty cool. I also like that the decoration was never too much at any points, which a lot of levels nowadays have a problem of, despite having very simple design. It just feels like there's way too much going on despite the little amounts of objects that are actually on the screen, which is crazy. But yeah, no, this level's really cool when it comes to just like staying simple, but also having a lot of atmosphere. Anyways, yeah, that's all I have to say for Flyway. It's just a pretty good level. It's really hard, so only play it if you're able to play levels this hard comfortably. But yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Anyways, if you like the video, just subscribe, like the video, comment on it. It helps me out a lot. And if you're a frequent member of this channel, I would recommend becoming a channel member. You can view videos early, and you also get shoutouts at the end of my videos. Anyways, yeah, that's all I have to say. Have a good day.